Well, how do that, chums? 'Tis I, Captain Stephen. Today, chums, for you guys, in the fewer first, I'm going to go do a base visit and tour. Now, normally I have problems with bases rendering in. Now, this is in creative mode. I have a little bit more luck inside of creative mode. So here's the 4 first digits. That's a reflection, a sunset, an eclipse, and a rocket. The next 4, another sunset, and then we've got a Diplo, a Welly black hole, followed by a whale, and then we've got a voxel, a Y-shape or flux capacitor, an eclipse, and lastly, a whale. Awesome! So that's all inputted. Now this is inside of Euclid and it's in creative mode. So I have some problems inside of normal mode at the moment. I know a lot of you would like me to do base tours, but yeah, it's a little difficult and sometimes I don't render in and sometimes I need the other player to actually be there at the base. And it just so happens that Boid Gaming on YouTube is actually here at his actual build. Now I say it's his build, it's actually a collaboration. This is Boid Gaming and also Coop, C-O-O-P. So yeah, I believe it's Coop done the interiors and Boid done all the exteriors. So here we go. Let's head on over to the actual ship. It's not Notre Dame. It's the Fallen Atat that I want to come and look see. But yeah, there are other bases here. So if you want, check them out. Anyhow, let's fly on over to this Fallen ATT. Yeah, Atat. I really do like Star Wars builds as well. They sort of wet my whistle. Heck yes, I do. Or anything that's sort of mech-like and things like that. So yeah, or that are actually inside of the NMSA hub. I'm more likely to go visit or try to visit bases inside of the NMSA hub or built by friends of mine. So Boid, I've actually met Boid in real life. You know, so I met him over at the meetup as well. So yeah, there is that too. Let's pop into camera mode and put the sun in the sky. Now, if I did pick up every request that people sent me, I'd be forever doing base tours. And I used to do quite a lot of base tours when my channel was a bit smaller, but it's very difficult for me to do everything now. So if you do want me to do a base tour, the best way to get my attention is over on Twitter to send me a DM, a direct message with a picture of your base and whether it's in normal mode and creative mode and whether you can actually be there at the time of it rendering or all sorts of other shenanigans. But yes, it has to be something a little bit special, something that I really would like to visit. So yes, sorry, I have to be a little bit picky and choosy or else I'd be forever, as I say, visiting bases, because a lot of people are making these sort of bases, aren't they? There's a massive community, especially now we can green state. The possibilities are endless in what you can build. Now, I really like the look of this. This is pretty darn sweet. This has some pretty cool nods towards the actual Outlaws build at the moment, doesn't it? It has an actual Outlaws vibe, it really does. Oh, I love this. It looks like a little vending machine. Very cool. So yeah, so this is actually made by Boid the outside and the inside by Coop. Now Boid Gaming has got his own channel. I put a link to Boid's channel in the top right hand corner. Be sure to go and check Boid out. Now he does quite a few collaborations, whether that's base tours and all sorts of other stuff inside of the verse. He's quite well known in the community. He built my Boid Zoid dog as well. The guy's freaking awesome. Yeah. Wow, this is pretty darn sweet. So yeah, he's already done quite a lot inside of the NMSA hub, and he's been a friend of mine for some time, go back quite a fair bit. And yes, met him in real life, as I say, at the Guildford meetup, and such a lovely chap. So how could I not feature his base? So here we go, let's head on round, and let's have a look here. Oh, I love all the lighting in here. This is so epic. I went in a pub once that had something very similar to that in the middle. Well, it was a load of sinks and the gents, but yeah, let's head this way. Awesome, this is pretty darn freaking sweet in here. I love all the use of all the new decals, and yes, this has a very Outlaws piratey theme to it. Really liking this. This is brilliant. Now there's a lot of terminals here that would normally have NPCs in. And I actually think I'm heading towards the head of this base now, aren't I? I think through here is the actual head. That's so cool. Yes, it's a fully functional walk-through base, and not only does it look like an AT-AT from the outside, you can actually traverse everything on the inside. I love this. This is freaking epic. This is one of the best builds I think I've looked at in a long time. Well done, Boid and Coop. Yeah, and Co or whoever. But brilliant. Look at this. A little mini fish tank. That's pretty darn cool. So yeah, I know that the scaling of things is pretty tricky. I did a video on scaling of things, so if I can do it, I guess other people can. Freaking mind-blowing stuff, Boid and Coop. Really outdone yourselves. Don't know what that black splodge is on my screen there. What the fudge was that? Some sort of textural anomaly. We are getting a fair few textural anomalies at the moment, but I'm really surprised that all this is rendered in. But then again, I'm not overly surprised, because it seems to be that the bases on the creative server seem to render far better, for me anyway, than the bases that are on the normal server. And I think that's probably the same for other PlayStation 5 users. So yeah, whenever I hit up bases on creative, they're more likely to render in. I love all of this. I mean, look at this. A little attention to details like this. I love the workings. I love all these moving base parts. I really do hope we get more moving base parts. Now, Boid is over on yonder hill. Let's go and see what Boid is up to on yonder hill. It looks like he's building a shed on yonder hill. Well, I have got closer, and it's not a shed. It's actually a sand crawler, one of the Jawa type kinds of sand crawler. Now, Boid has told me that this is going to be a Star Wars build planet. So if you are good at building Star Wars type ships and all sorts of other shenanigans or bases or whatever, and you're part of the Amino Hub, be sure to head on over here. Maybe speak to Boid first, hit him up or something, and tell him what you've got planned or in store. And yeah, just keep in mind not to build too close to other people's builds. But yes, come along, I guess. And this is in creative mode. You will need a creative save to get here, but this is looking freaking excellent. Now, keep in mind this is a work in progress of Boid's. Now, until he uploads this into the server, you won't see it when you come here, unless Boid is actually tinkering around and building at the time. If you're lucky, you might get to see this. But yes, this is a work in progress, so do expect it to change. Freaking excellent. So this is him himself, the man, the legend, the man that is Boid Gaming. Thanking you, Boid, for sending me the coordinates to this awesome base over in creative mode. So yeah, I will put all of Boid's contacty type shizzles inside of the video description, so if you do want to hit him up and ask about building upon this Star Warsy planet, then you can. But if you do want to come visit here, this is creative mode, you will need a creative save. I give the portal codes again in a moment. Oh look, you can't really even see the actual AT-AT from here, but this really does make sense, doesn't it? Having a sand crawler quite close to all of that salvage. What a lucky find for these lovely little Jawas. Yeah, great, awesome. I really do like this build, Boid. It's freaking excellent. You and Coop have outdone yourselves, you really have. And if you guys in the viewerverse want to come to this base, here you go. I'll give you the coordinates. Once again, this is in Euclid creative mode. You will need a creative save and be in Euclid. Until next time, people, you've been awesome. Cheery bye. Goodbye, goodbye, and goodbye again. Well, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you see, please hit a like and a subscribe. And I'd like to say a massive, great big thank you to all of my backers over on Patreon and over on YouTube membership. Thanking you, backers. And if you want to support this channel, just don't skip the adverts. That throws revenue down my avenue. Or yeah, just stay with Captain Steve that little bit longer and hit something on this screen. There's merch here now too.